A small farm boy was walking into the tall grass of his home world collecting corn from the crops when he hears blaster fire. He sees flashes of bright lights and smells smoke and fire from just north of him. It is the direction from his home. He got on the back of a canoe and rowed it all the way home. When he got there, he saw nothing but fire and destruction under a banner of death. One of the bodies stood up and tried to shoot him, when another behind shot instead. He trips over to his knees in total fear of the sound and cried. The man in armor stood up and walked towards him. Just on the tip of the man's neck, the kid saw a small Mandalorian tattoo. The boy looked up at his face, but only saw a cold helmet. "Where is your home, boy? Where is your kin?" the man asked. The boy looked towards the ruins of his farm. The man understood and nodded his head. "Your world is gone thanks to my war. I'm sorry, your home is now a wasteland, thanks to the war we dragged with us." The boy cowered in fear. "I understand." The man crouched down. "I am just a mere a Mandalorian. These are bad Mandalorians, which I must stop before they do more damage like they did here. Will you like to help me, boy?" He held out his hand. The boy took it and cried some more. The man picked him up and asked for his name. It was Jango Fett. A female Pandorian named Aurra Singh ran into the bar. She looked around as if she was looking for someone. "Can I help you, sweetheart?" a fat Rhodian called out. She ignored him and found who she was looking for. But the fat Rhodian stood up next to her. "Hey, I said, could I?" Before he could finish, she shot him and walked to the back of the room. "Hey, Boba, I've been looking for you, kid." A young teenage man under a Mandalorian helmet sat in the back of the room. "What do you want, Aurora?" "I said to leave me alone, didn't I?" He sounded annoyed. "Hey, kid, relax. It's been a while since I've seen ya." She tried to calm him down. "You don't show up unless you want something," Boba replied. "And today of all days, the last person I need is you." She laughed. "What's wrong, Boba? Now you don't mean that." He tried to get up and leave, but "Hey, I got a job and I need help on this one. Now you owe me from the last time I helped you out." Boba rolled his head, which obviously his eyes went inside. "What's the job and how much?" he replied. "Good. That's my boy. We'll be on an easy path of being rich. The job is simple. We just have to steal some codes from the Crimson Dawn." Boba was surprised by this. "Are you kidding me? The criminal syndicate?" "Yep, Boba. The Empire wants to take them out, and we're the undercover agents for it. This job is big, and if we get into trouble, we might face the big bad boss. I heard he has horns and a lightsaber." "A Jedi?" Boba said. "Yep. If we take him down and bring him into, I'm sure we'll get twice what they're offering for this job. I can't do it alone, and you and I have experience with Jedi. Let's do it together." Boba sat back for a moment. "Okay, meet me on the Slave One in an hour. We're taking my ship." "That's my boy," Aurora said. Boba left the bar without another word. It's been 3 years since the Empire took over the Republic. Boba was now 16. Boba walked into the Slave One. He looked around and could only fall to his knees. Today was a special day for Boba, one that he didn't have the strength to look forward to. He didn't sleep the past 2 days in hopes that he could sleep this day away. Instead, he took a 1 hour nap and waited for Aurra to show up. He despised working with her, but he knew how big of an opportunity this was to work for the Empire, so he did what he was told. As he woke up, he saw Aurra piloting the ship. "Wakey, wakey, sleepyhead! You've been asleep for 3 hours." He said nothing and took his helmet off while he sat down. "Where are we going?" He had short hair and tired eyes. "To find someone we need on this job. Believe me, I had the idea of splitting the money up, but without him, we're doomed." Boba nodded. "Who are we going for?" "Cad Bane," she answered. Boba just nodded at the name. Cad Bane, the Jedi killer who was made famous throughout the Clone Wars. Boba met him a few times, but knew of his deeds as the top bounty hunter of the era. But times were changing, and Cad Bane was not on his luck. He was retiring on Coruscant in the lower levels. You had to know him to find him, Aurra said. "Wait, so we're going into Imperial space?" Boba asked Aurra. Aurra nodded. "Ingenious, isn't it?" "The fool is hiding in plain sight under their noses. But if he agrees, it can benefit him too." They landed deep in the underworld of Coruscant. "Okay, come on, Boba," Aurra yelled back. "We got some walking to do." Boba followed her, and they went deeper and deeper in the sea. They came to an old apartment. They opened the door and walked in. Sitting on the couch, watching the Empire news, sat a Duros male. "Hi there," Aurra said. Bane looked up from him, a little dazed from drinking. "What are you doing here? I told you when you called me. I said..." But then he saw Boba. Jango!" he said as he grabbed his blaster. "What are..." Easy, Aurra said. "This is Boba. Jango was my father," Boba replied. Bane took his hand off his gun and calmed down. "I see. I forgot he had a son." "My dad died long ago," Boba said. "Yeah, I know. I don't know what I was thinking." "He died today, right? Isn't this the anniversary of his death?" Boba nodded. "You knew him?" Boba asked. "Yeah, me and him go way back. Way back. Anyway, enough of that. I told Aurra, the times, they are a-changin'. I lost all my money when the Empire took over. I'm a wanted man, even among the Empire. I'm in hiding, not retiring. I just don't want business with the Empire. You can find someone else. But we need your skills," said Aurra. "We're getting paid." "Money ain't enough anymore," said Bane. "Not when the Empire rules all. I used to be the biggest gunslinger in the galaxy. I took down plenty of Jedi, and I've gone toe-to-toe with the likes of Obi and Anakin. But when the Empire took over, there wasn't a bounty hunter who was safe. They all ran to Jabba to protect them. or tried to make their own guilds underground, criminal organizations. Not one can beat the Empire. I got free, and I'm not going back. Any other jobs you got, I'll take in a heartbeat. But I don't want anything to do with the Empire. A possible Jedi could be in charge of the criminal syndicate, known as Crimson Dawn. I know how you hate Jedi, and I know how much you can't stand the Crimson Dawn. For Aurora was interrupted. No, those idiots just can't appreciate my talents, is all. Screwed me out of some creds. I'm not going to work for them. The Empire doesn't have to know you're with us. I'll pay you personally. There's got to be something you want, Bane. Bane thought to himself for a moment. Yeah, there is something I want. And that is? Boba asked. Bane laughed. I'll do it. But what I want I'll keep to myself for now. Just get me my money, and grab me my hat, he said as he got up. Aurora grabbed his hat and handed it to him. He had an old fedora on. He grabbed some gear, rocket boots, and a flamethrower gloves, his 2 pistol blasters, and a toothbrush.